Good afternoon, dear students. Welcome back to our e-learning classes conducted by Modern Educational Group. I am Nilambar Kormokar, your SST teacher. Today I am going to discuss the last part of the chapter, the creation of an empire. So now, start the lesson. The Mughal Empire in the 17th century and after. The administrative and military efficiency of the Mughal Empire led to great economic and commercial prosperity. It means the economically and commercially progress of the Mughal Empire depends on the administrative and military efficiency. International travelers described it as the fabled land of wealth. But these same visitors were also appalled at the state of poverty that existed side by side with the greatest opulence. It means the Mughal Empire improved their economic and commercially, but that is also associated with their poverty. The inequalities were glaring. The difference between rich person and poor persons. There is also inequalities were remained in Mughal Empire. Documents from the 20th year of Shah Jahan region inform us that the highest ranking Mansabdars were only 445 in number out of the total of 8,000. This small number, a mere 5.6% of the total number of Mansabdars, received 61.5% of the total estimated revenue of the empire as salaries for themselves as their troopers. So, Mansabdars in the time of the Mughal Empire was very prosperous, and they have taken a vast salaries from the Mughal Empire. The Mughal emperors and their Mansabdars spent a great deal of their income on salaries and goods. This expenditure benefited the artisans and peasantry who supplied them with goods and produce. Whatever the Mughal emperors and their Mansabdar used, their expenditure for these things gone to the people who supplied them with goods and produce. But the scale of revenue collection left very little for investment in the hands of the primary producers, the peasant and the artisans. The poorest among them lived from hand to mouth. So, the people who were under the poor communities, they lived from hand to mouth. It means they collect their food to survive only, and they could hardly consider investing in additional resources, tools, and supplies to increase productivity. The wealthier peasantry and artisanal groups, the merchants group, and the bankers were the real profit makers in this economic world. So, students, the economic activity of the Mughal Empire only want the wealthier peasantry, the artisans group, the merchants and the bankers were the real profit. But who product the things to give the Mughal emperors or Mansabdar? Their condition was very poor compared with the other persons. The enormous wealth and resources commanded by the Mughal elite made them an extremely powerful group of people in the late 17th century. Student, in this way, the Mughal elite became a group of a powerful people. As the authority of the Mughal emperor slowly declined, his servants emerged as powerful centers of power in the regions. Students, when Mughal dynasty was going to decline slowly, the servants, it means the Mughal elite, became the powerful persons in each regions of Mughal empire. They formed new dynasties and held command of provinces like Hyderabad, Awadh, although they continued to recognize the Mughal emperor in Delhi as their master. It means they respect the Mughal emperor in Delhi as their master, though they established a new dynasty in the different regions. By the 18th century, such provinces of the empire had made their independent political identity. It means, students, by the 18th century, such type of the ruler made their independent political identity and ignored the supremacy of Mughal. Thank you, dear students. The lesson is completed. If you have any problem and any doubt, inform me. Okay? Have a nice day.